Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to day 8 of our B2B Christmas calendar. Today, we will do something which B2B Santa finds to be one of the very most important things in any B2B marketing effort, and that is emails. They are not the type of emails that you might think of immediately. I'm not talking about cold emails. I'm talking about emails to lists with people that we've already made a connection with. So in this video, we will go through how we do these emails, and you will have a prompt that can do the email completely for you. So we'll get straight into that. So before we jump into this, let's just make sure that we have all of the prerequisites that we need to do this properly. So first of all, we need an audience description. That is to give our AI the necessary content. So during day one, we made an ICP memo. I highly recommend you to make this if you haven't already done so, because this will be a way better audience description than what you will be able to do manually. On day two, we made an offer memo. You need an offer description as well. This will be the best way of creating an offer memo. So go there if you haven't already. And we need a lead magnet to base the email on. So we built this in day four, some parts of it in day five as well. If you haven't already, then go to day four to fix this. So the way that we run this prompt is I recommend that we use Gemini 3.0 Pro because it's the best one right now to write human-like content. And then we use the prompt from below here. So the way that we go about it is simply that you click copy on this prompt, and then you go ahead and you paste your ICP memo here, so your audience, your offer memo here, and the lead magnet here. And then you just run it in the different language models. So I will show you how this ended up like in Gemini. So here I have added all of my documentation, so my ICP memo, offer, and lead magnet. And then you can see that this is the output. So here we have an email that describes a pattern that technical founders get when they move away from referrals, about how closing rates drops. And it basically just describes why this is and to fix it, what you need to do. So it gives people like a micro solution to their problem, but it also pitches people on the fact that I wrote the full breakdown on how this structure works and why it outperforms the standard agency model. And then you have a link to the full one. So that's how these are structured. It is some micro problem, micro solution, and then I have something more for you. So just a pitch to make them consume more. And then always in the bottom, PS, if you want help implementing this, you can book a call with me here because you always want to give people the option to book with you. So this is something that you'll get out if you just run the prompt. You can also see how it becomes if you run it in ChatGPT. Here I'll put the same thing in here. I don't think this is as good. I think this sounds way more AI generated than the previous one, and the previous one is just written better in general. And here you can see from Claude, it's better than with ChatGPT, but I don't think it's as nice as Gemini. Also, it makes up some numbers here, which I don't really like. So Gemini is by far the winner that you can run this with. And when you run it once, you want to feed several of your lead magnets. You can make more lead magnets through day four that we have. And then you just feed this prompt over and over to get many different emails that you can send to your list. Because that brings us to what we're doing as of the larger infrastructure. Because what we're doing throughout this whole Christmas calendar is building an AI marketing system for B2B businesses. So the way that that works is we first need some way of collecting emails. As we've talked about, we use LinkedIn posts or we use outbound to collect these. And then we start nurturing them. So we don't pitch them during anything which is top of funnel. We're just building the connection between us and them. And then in the middle of funnel, which is where the emails come into place, we need to start nurturing them. So the way that we do this with emails is very, very unique because we could be sending these emails to them once per week or in whatever frequency. But then we got to sit and make these emails week after week, or we need to bulk schedule and we need to bulk make them or anything like that. The thing that we do for B2B founders, such as yourself, who don't have that much time because you're already servicing some sort of client with some sort of solution, is that we create what we call evergreen emails. So we set up 20 different emails or more that we then schedule out with a set frequency. So let's use 20 as an example, over then 20 weeks, so that the leads receive one email per week, and then it loops. So in week 21, they receive email number one again. And the reason we can do so is because people don't remember the emails they got 5 months back in time. Therefore, we can make all of this infrastructure, we can set up these automated flows, and then you never have to touch it again. That's what you want to do here. You can do such a thing in software like Encharge. That's what we use. There are definitely other email software that you can set up automated evergreen sequences in as well. But you want to create at least 20 different emails that you place in here, and you want to make them based on all of the resources that we made in the past. That way, you stay on top of your audience's mind all the time with new resources, with new solutions that build trust and that essentially manufactures that third party that you're used to in referrals, but it's now just your infrastructure. So that's what we're doing this for. If you look at the broader picture here as well, then inside of this nurturing, we will also walk through in one of the other days in the calendar how we set up Facebook awareness ads and how we connect these automatically to the rest of the system. And we also do lead scoring on the back end. Since we own the infrastructure of these emails that are sent and the ads that are ran, we have the tracking on this, then we're able to attribute scores to every lead based on the stuff that they do or don't do. And given those scores, we then have an algorithm that places them in different categories. So you have cold leads, you have warm leads, and you have hot leads. The hot leads are naturally the ones that you want to follow up yourself one-on-one. And then, so you essentially have two places that people can convert. You have in the emails, as we saw here, you have a PS, if you want help implementing this, then book a call. And then you also have when people turn hot, where you reach out to them directly yourself, because then you know that they've already consumed your stuff, they already like you, and they likely already trust you. That's the type of infrastructure that we're setting up throughout this Christmas calendar, and that's how you integrate these emails into it. As a final note, if you don't want to spend 40, 60, 80, 100 hours setting up all of this during the Christmas calendar or after, then we do help very busy B2B founders with setting up this completely for you as well. If that is something that you want to explore, then that's something that we do in 90 days. And then you get everything, you own the full infrastructure so that you don't need us or anyone else after those 90 days. If you want to see more about how that works, then there's a calendar below where you can book a call with me and where you will get a lot of more info that you can consume. And then during that call, I will spend all of my time strategizing on how to do this specifically for your type of business. So without further being said, have an amazing 8th of December and ho, 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 Merry Christmas. See you in the next day.